These gluten-free peppermint sour cream sugar cookies are full of peppermint crunch and topped with a yummy sour cream frosting. You have to taste them to believe just how good they are. Start off by gathering all the ingredients you're going to need to make these cookies. I've listed them in the description below, quick and easy for you to read. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Measure half a cup of soft butter, not melted, not room temperature, soft, and mix it on medium speed for 2 to 3 minutes until it becomes light and fluffy. Next, measure a half a cup of vegetable oil. Add the oil and mix for another 1 to 2 minutes. Measure 1 cup of sour cream. Use the full fat version. Next, measure 1 large egg, 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/2 teaspoon of peppermint extract. Mix that on medium-low speed until well combined. Next, add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 3 3/4 cups of gluten-free measure for measure flour. You're going to add 1/3 of the gluten-free flour and mix until well combined. With the mixer running on low, slowly add the rest of the gluten-free flour and mix until it is evenly combined. Check the dough texture here. Depending on your flour brand, you may want to add up to 1/4 cup of flour if the dough is too sticky. You want to use the red Andes Peppermint Crunch variety for these cookies. You can either use the Peppermint Crunch baking chips that come in a bag or chop up 1 cup of the Andes Peppermint Crunch thins. In Canada, I had some difficulty finding them. The 2 places I found them were London Drugs and Canadian Tire, oddly enough. Line your baking sheets with parchment paper. The original recipe says to scoop the dough into about 1/4 cup sized portions and then roll into balls. This scoop that I'm using is 1/4 cup, but I found it makes the cookies too large. And so I ended up going with a smaller size scoop. I can get a greater yield of cookies from the same batch of cookie dough, and I find that I like the way that they are cooked when they are a little bit smaller in size. Add about 1/2 cup of granulated sugar to a shallow dish or bowl. Lightly spray the bottom of a 1/3 cup measuring or small glass with cooking spray, and then dip the bottom of the measuring cup into the sugar. Press each cookie into an even thickness, dipping the bottom of the glass into the sugar between each press. No need to spray again with the cooking spray after the first time. The edge of the cookie will ruffle out in an uneven way. Imperfect is what you want, and they should be about 1/2 inch thick. Bake for 6 to 8 minutes. Do not overbake. The cookies should not turn golden. You want them to be slightly underbaked from a normal sugar cookie so they are soft and creamy when chilled. The original recipe only yields 18 cookies, but with this smaller scoop, I'm able to fill up 3.5 pans full of cookies. Cool almost completely on the baking sheet before transferring to a wire rack. Let's make the icing. Measure 6 tablespoons of butter softened, 1/3 cup of sour cream, 4 cups of powdered sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of peppermint extract, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, also a pinch of salt, and if you'd like to, a tiny drop of red food coloring, or leave it white. The choice is yours. I think they both look beautiful. Using a hand mixer, mix together all those ingredients, and if you need to, you can mix in a tablespoon or so of milk to get the frosting the consistency that you want. I usually add 1 to 2 tablespoons. And the last step is to frost the cookies. The secret ingredient is the Andes Peppermint Crunch that elevates these cookies, making them uniquely flavorful and irresistible. They are so easy to make and enjoyable to prepare. Just toss out that sugar cookie cutter, because you won't want to make sugar cookies anymore. And then to add a little bit extra flair to this, I love to sprinkle just a little bit more of the Andes chocolate on top. For best results, chill for at least 1 hour or up to 2 days before serving. Cookies are best served chilled right out of the fridge. If you enjoyed this recipe, be sure to look at my other baking videos. I've got a favorite Halloween cookie that I love too, and leave a comment on how your cookies turned out. One word of warning, these cookies are so good, you're going to have to use a lot of self-control not to eat the entire batch.